the right information because the Secretariat just got an award from the Right to Information Authority, and in that area, we are trying to create a public awareness of the Right to Information Act 2019 Act 989 and how it operates and the obligation of public institutions. Pass the regulation to fully operationalize it and provide funding for the implementation of the Right to Information Act. We have citizen participation, that is the Citizen Complaint Center. We have gender equity, which is being spearheaded by the Gender Ministry, and that is why we have the comprehensive gender strategy in our programs. We also have the Technology and Innovation, that is being spearheaded by the Ministry of Communication and Technology and Innovation. That has to do with mis- and disinformation. Mr. Speaker, before I conclude, transparency in road sector and flashy health infrastructure program. This commitment is being done by the Roads and the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Thank you very much.
That is a very elaborate answer. Honorable member, is there any supplementary question? Thank you. Yes, Honorable Boama. Have you changed your sitting place?
Mr. Speaker, I came to do some conferment with my leader. Thank you, Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I'll put my questions two in one. The first is referencing the objective of the ministry to promote the private sector-led growth and national development using innovation and professional staff. My first question is, what practical steps have you taken this year to
Honorable member, the rule is you ask one question after the other.
Okay. So, Mr. Speaker, my first question is to ask the minister, following her response, what pragmatic steps have the ministry taking to promote the professionalism of staff to deliver on this public sector reform? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member, for the question. Currently, the ministry works with other ministries. We don't work in isolation. We coordinate reforms. So any other ministry that wants to have reforms, we look at their staff strength, their capabilities, to find out exactly what they want them to do and whether they have the needed capacity to go into that particular reforms. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity once again. Mr. Speaker, in the minister's response to this House, referencing the standardization and improvement of client service charters to include compliance reports, he said that all ministries, departments, and agencies and public sector organizations are to go by these standards to deliver services. I know that a number of the ministry, departments, and agencies have not developed the service charters based upon which Ghanaians are supposed to measure their effectiveness and efficiency. Can you assess this House in terms of what is the status of the provision of service charters by these government agencies, and what are we going to do in publicizing it for Ghanaians to know the availability of these charters to hold them accountable? I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Member, and thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the follow-up question. In the answer, I mentioned to you that I have inaugurated a committee that is working on the national public sector reform strategy, and all the agencies and departments are part of that committee. We are about 21 in number. Currently, if you look at the Public Service Commission and the head of civil service, they have their charter and they have their code of conduct. Because of that, we have incorporated all the ministries and departments into it so that we can work together to make sure that all the other agencies that doesn't have or other ministries doesn't have, we work at it to make sure that they also have their own. Thank you very much. And as a nurse, I know that Ghana Health Services, they have their charter and their code of conduct as well. Thank you.
We then move to question number 249, standing in the name of Honorable Samuel Awuku, Member of Parliament for Akuapem North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I come under Order 88.3. I have the permission of the Member of Parliament, Honorable Samuel Awuku, to ask the question for and on his behalf.
Honorable Member, we don't work with permission.
Authority, sorry, Mr. Speaker. I'm guided, Mr. Speaker. I have the authority of the Member of Parliament, Samuel Awuku, to ask the question on his behalf.
Please do.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for State in charge of public sector reforms what steps are being taken to digitize public services and reduce bureaucracy delay at key government agencies. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And thank you, Honorable Member, for this brilliant question. Mr. Speaker, the Public Sector Reform Secretariat is taking the following steps to digitalize public services and reduce bureaucracy, which delays key government institutions' work. 1. The National Public Sector Reform Strategy has 2 pillars and are specifically linked to digitalization of public services to reduce bureaucracy and delays. Pillar 1, a citizen and private sector-oriented public sector. In this program, it seeks to optimize processes for digitization transformation by conducting process audits to identify and analyze existing processes to pinpoint inefficiency and bottlenecks. Adopt technologies such as e-governance platform, automated workflows, and digital record keeping to streamline operation. A user feedback loop will be established to regularly review and refine processes based on performance data. 2, this Pillar 1, Program 3, seeks to create one-stop shop at strategic locations and online to provide various related services, provide citizen and private sector with timely, simple, and easy access to public services. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, to re-engineer service delivery business process to reduce waiting time, either in person, online, or otherwise. This includes making service available electronically, turnaround time standards, reducing bureaucracy, and paperwork. Paperwork is now a red tape, so we want to make sure that we reduce the amount of paperwork to simplify forms and documents and creating easy access to information about the services. Pillar 6, digitalize public sector system and services. Under that one, Program 1 of Pillar 6. This seeks to expand and enhance the following activities to increase access to citizens. 1, ensure digitalization to support broader policy making on NITA across the institutions, educate and train public servants in e-service management under the NITA program. 3, to introduce online service delivery and e-class service charter to facilitate business operation. For example, timely online acquisition of licenses, passports, business certificate, and property identification. 4, to standardize digital operations within institutions and across government institutions. 5, capture and digitalize staff profile for performance appraisal. Mr. Speaker, these steps will target the following key government institutions and frontline service delivery agencies. 1, Births and Deaths Registry, Ghana Immigration Service, Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, National Identification Authority, Passport Office, Office of the Registrar of Companies, and the National Information Technology Agencies. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I only want to ask Pillar 6, where digitizing public sector systems and services. With all the institutions that have been mentioned, are we looking at a specific timeline for some of these things, like the institution that you have mentioned?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member. We are doing all these things because we want to make sure that people can work 24 hours in this country. So we are working with the 24-hour economy to make sure that we have put on paper and we are working on come to fruition. So please, I can't give you timelines, but I can tell you that in due course we'll roll it out. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Yes, Speaker, the Program 3 of Pillar 1, to seek to create one-stop shop, a strategic location and online to provide various related services. This online platform, has there been some steps that have already been taken to look at that is going to hold all this one-stop shop, or is still something that you are looking at?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. About the one-stop shop, it is something that has been done before, and the framework has already been created. We are going to look at the reasons why it didn't work well, and then we now put in measures to make sure that it works well. Because of that, I've traveled to Uganda. The Ugandans call it MESO. We have another model from Azerbaijan. They are ready to help us work on it. And we also have one in Ethiopia. I believe with those kind of benchmarks, we'll be able to make sure that it works well. It's either going to be online or physical in a shop or at a particular place where you can go and get whatever you want in one shop. Thank you. And that is why we have the various models. We look at which model that will work best for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Boma.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, referencing Program 1 of Pillar 6, you talked about capturing and digitalizing staff profiles for performance appraisal. You indicated the targeted key government institutions. Can you help this House understand, as at now, what is the status of digitalizing the staff profile, and which government institutions, as you have shortlisted currently, have initiated, and the status of that? Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, if you look at
In charge.
the MPSRS 1. We try to work with the institutions to make sure that they have what it takes for us to work with the staff. So the tool will now help us to train the staff to be able to work with whatever we are provided. For instance, if you go to SHRAD, we have the case management. We have the case management system. And in that case management system, we are training staff to be able to use the equipment. We are building their capacity to be able to use the equipment that has been provided in the first phase. So in the second phase, we'll be training the staff to be able to work with whatever we provided for those institutions. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, we then move to question numbered 500, standing in the name of Honorable Duke Williams Ellen Kwame Amwako Ata Ufori Ata, Member of Parliament for Fantiakon South.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the question of the Minister. To ask the Minister of State in charge of public sector reform how the Public Records and Archives Administration Department, PRAD, digitalization of 55,259 archival sheets and disposal of 8,540 boxes is improving record management efficiency, and what resources have been allocated for further digitalization in 2025? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Public Records and Archive Administration Department, PRAD, is a cost center under the Office of the Head of the Civil Service that is responsible for the paper and effective management of records in all public institutions of government. With resources allocated by Government of Ghana, PRAD digitized 55,259 number of sheets, exceeding its target of 50,000 number of sheets in 2024. Mr. Speaker, the digitization of the 55,259 sheets and the disposal of 8,540 boxes achieve the following. 1, increase accessibility and sharing of information. In the long run, the digitization material can be easily shared and accessed by a wider audience regardless of location and time. 2, it supports good governance, accountability, and compliance. 3, improve preservation. Digital copies have helped preserve original materials from loss and reduce handling of records deterioration. 4, faster information retrieval. Digital materials can be easily searched and retrieved, saving time and effort. 5, cost effective. Digitized materials can reduce printing and storage costs. 6, reduce storage burden of institutions. It helps to remove obsolete records from offices, freeing all storage and working spaces and prevent overcrowding in record spaces. 7, enhance engagement. In the long run, interactive digital content can engage users and enhance learning experience. Historical heritage preservation. The digitalization of the record materials has helped to preserve Ghana's historical heritage. Mr. Speaker, allocation of resources in 2025, an amount of 138,000 Ghana cedis has been allocated to PRAD for the digitalization of records in 2025. Mr. Speaker, this could be concluded that this amount is woefully inadequate for the department to carry out its digitalization project. Thank you very much.
Honourable member, any supplementary?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to note from the minister how many sheets were digitalized in 2025 from that amount of money presented.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you very much. Right Honourable Speaker, the year has not yet ended, so put our fingers on figures for now, because the year has to end before we know how many papers have been discharged. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honourable Member.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to ask the minister what help she would need for this House to ask the Minister for Finance for more funding for this exercise.
Please ask specific questions. Any other question?
No other questions, sir.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honourable Patrick Yagwama.
Honourable Minister, in your answer, you said that an amount of 130-something thousand was allocated to PRAD in 2025. I want to find out from you if you took into consideration the amount that was allocated to PRAD in 2026 in your answer to this House. Because last week, we approved the budgetary allocation to the Office of the Head of Civil Service, and I made my submissions on PRAD. So I want to find out from you whether this answer looked into the allocations made to PRAD.
The answer that she has given?
Yes.
Well, you can provide answer to his question without quoting what is contained in the budget. If the member wants that, the member can ask a specific question. You may go ahead and answer the rest.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and thank you, Honourable Member. I looked at the figures, but looking at the figures that has been quoted will not necessarily give us an idea of how much is going to be released to the department or to PRAD. So you cannot for now just say that this is the amount that they are going to give them, because the release has to come from the Minister for Finance.
Honourable members, question time is ended. Honourable Minister, thank you very much for attending upon the House to respond to questions on the order paper for today. Thank you so much. You are hereby discharged. Yes, Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Speaker,
Well, Majority Chief Whip, before you come in, indulge me to acknowledge the presence of students from St. Joseph Anglican Basic School who are here with the leaders, Solomon Na, Enes Dako, Agbama Biesa Isaac, and Kwasidan Wisdom. Teachers, they are from Okaikwe South Constituency, member of Okaikwe South Constituency. Are you here? They numbered 66. We also have Ampa Basic School, led by Benjamin Boche, teacher. They are from Efutu. they numbered 49. We also have Nsuachire Basic School, led by Francisca Atamakira, teacher. They are also from Efutu, they numbered 36. We have National Commission for Civic Education, led by Araba Etiwa, Sena Bossen. Amadenu teachers, they numbered 18. I guess they are from various constituencies. Then we have KPCE Demonstration School, led by Entry Alexander, head teacher. They are from Ebuakwa South. They numbered 66. On your behalf, honorable members, I welcome our dear students to Parliament of Ghana and wish them a fruitful visit. We also have in our midst Reverend Father Andrew Neilante Campbell, founder of Lepers Aid Committee, in charge of Weja Leprosarium, former priest of Christ the King Catholic Church. Reverend Father, you are most welcome to Parliament of Ghana. Enjoy your visit to Parliament. Yes, Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker, may I pray that we take motion number 24. Speaker, this report has been outstanding for some time. So we agree that we take it off the way and then we can deal with the BOG report, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Speaker, I think we can proceed.
Very well. Chairman of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to present your committee's report. Oh, yeah, bring it.
Honorable, move the motion before.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that motion number 24 be taken today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And in doing so, I would like to present your committee's report, if I am permitted.
Please do.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, this report was supposed to have been taken last week. So copies were shared to members last week, but I've instructed that, yes, you have to have. So if you check on your system, you'll find the copies. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask that the table office capture the entire report as having been read. Mr. Speaker, a few months ago, your committee, as part of our oversight responsibility, took it upon ourselves to tour some selected regions in the country. Mr. Speaker, your committee touched base in about 5 regions to look at the sanitation and water resources issues across the country. Mr. Speaker, it will interest you to note that what your MMD is. Mr. Speaker, we have a serious problem as a country. Mr. Speaker, it is important to state here that sanitation is a critical issue globally. If you look at WHO standards, an environmental health worker is to about 700 people. One environmental health worker is to 700 people. But unfortunately, in our country today, an environmental health worker handles over 8,000 people. So you can imagine how terrible it is in our country. Mr. Speaker, when we went round we've noticed that the issues and the challenges were virtually the same in almost all the regions that we've touched base. And one of the critical challenges we found out in almost all the MMDAs visited was that almost every district assembly, metropolitan, municipal, and district assembly is lacking technical staff. There is inadequate environmental service staff in almost all the MMDAs. Mr. Speaker, fortunately, a few weeks ago, we had the opportunity to meet with the Environmental Health Workers Association here in Parliament. And the issues they brought forward were serious. So, Mr. Speaker, as the chairman of the committee, I want to call on this House and the government to try as much as possible post all the environmental service graduates across the country. Yesterday, you may have heard that the environmental service past students were picketing at the Ministry of Local Government because they have not been posted for the past 5 years, Mr. Speaker, and that is serious. Because, Mr. Speaker, without environmental service workers, Mr. Speaker, without adequate environmental service workers, I don't think this country will make progress as far as sanitation management is concerned at the various MMDAs. Mr. Speaker, if you recall those days, some of us were very young kids then, during the PNDC, early days of NDC era. We used to refer to them as town castle, that is town castle people. You remember the fear anytime you heard the town castles were coming to your house. Remember
Honorable
the fear
Chairman,
and the discipline in the system.
The Hansard has captured all the reports. So, in conclusion,
Mr. Speaker, I have a few more to say, Mr. Speaker. Let me touch on the critical issues briefly. One of them has to do with non-payment. Mr. Speaker, we all know before a prophet can give accurate and good prophecies, he must be fed properly. Mr. Speaker, the Environmental Health Service Providers Association visited your committee that they have not been paid for some time now. Mr. Speaker, as a country, if you visited, excuse my language, a war-torn country like Rwanda, if you go to Rwanda and you see their practices, what they are doing in sanitation, Mr. Speaker, it tells you that Ghana will have a long way to go. So, Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I want to call on government and those who matter to try as much as possible and pay environmental service providers.
In
Mr.
conclusion,
Speaker, they are doing a very good job for this country. Mr. Speaker, if you want me to conclude, Mr. Speaker, I had a
Honorable
few more to say,
member,
but if you want me to conclude,
once you ask the Hansard to capture the entire report as having been read, there is no point reading the report for the Hansard.
Mr. Speaker, I'm just making break points because I am not reading the entire report. If I want to read the entire report, it will take us over almost an hour. But, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I want to appeal to government and especially our good brother, Atu, who is doing so well so far, to try as much as possible and make payment to these environmental service providers to enable them to do a good job, continue to do a good job for this country. Mr. Speaker, I thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Motion moved. Any seconder? Yes, Honorable Zuera.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion on the report presented by the chairman of the Water and Sanitation Committee. By seconding the motion, Mr. Speaker, I just want to add that if we going around and listening to all the stakeholders, government agencies, private people involved in the effort to clean up our country, there was one feature that was very constant and which was resources, financial resources, to enable the effective activity of all these stakeholders. Mr. Speaker, it's so easy to reference best practice in other countries. But what we also found in those countries, including Rwanda, is that the system works. The system enables everybody to play their role properly. So in as much as we'll talk about recruiting and posting environmental sanitation workers, we also have to take a step back and look at our own individual activities. As individuals, as citizens of this country, what are we doing to enable a clean environment? And Mr. Speaker, it starts with us. It starts with me refusing to dump that empty bottle after I've drank water and rather putting it in my handbag. It starts with my brother who will refuse to throw that wrapper of a packet of biscuit out there as if it's someone else's responsibility. Mr. Speaker, we all have a duty. In Rwanda, as my chairman said, no one litters. And there is no policeman. There is nothing. It's just that is the attitude. And without littering, we'll have a clean environment. Mr. Speaker, we also found that household data, is very crucial to the efforts to keep our country and the environment clean. In the same Rwanda, the system captures everybody. So everybody pays for the cleaning of their environment. In this country, we don't have the data to enable us plan, to enable me pay at the end of the month by Momo. So I'll call the Aboboya today. Today he comes, he says it's 30 cedis. Another day he'll come, he'll tell you it's 50 cedis. Third day he'll come, he'll change it. This is how we are running the issue of sanitation in this country. Mr. Speaker, it's about time that we hold the bull by the horn and take some very serious, drastic, but pragmatic action to involve everybody in the effort to clean this country. In Rwanda, they told us they cleaned their portion of the lake between them and Congo because they say the Congolese dirty the water. So they have permanent patrol on their side. It costs a lot of money to keep a patrol on the water to make sure that the water is clean. This is a system that is responsive to its citizens. Mr. Speaker, with these few words, I second the motion. Thank you.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded. It is for the consideration of the House. Yes, Honourable Boama, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the statement or the report read by the chairman of the Sanitation Committee. Mr. Speaker, sanitation in this country is a big concern and worry, for which reason ministry has been created to help in the three critical areas where Ghana faces challenges in sanitation, and he said in the report include the improper waste management that we do in this country, the lack of infrastructure, importantly trying to establish a waste disposal site, provision of quality drinking water, as well as the all-important lack of hygiene education in this country. Mr. Speaker, complemented or making this situation even worse is the lack of political will, where government continues to deprioritize the issue of sanitation in this country and also stifle the sanitation ministry when it comes to financing of its programs and projects. Mr. Speaker, we sat in this House and approved the budget for the Ministry of Sanitation. And then as at the end of year, when the 2026 budget was read, we all saw clearly that the ministry had been underfinanced or under-resourced by almost 70%. And so how can we expect the Ministry of Sanitation and Water to be able to do and deliver on the issues that it prioritized for the year 2025? Mr. Speaker, per this report, we cannot as a House continue to belabor the point when we have put responsibilities in the hands of the state, led by the government, led by the president, who also has a minister responsible for water and sanitation, to be able to lead the charge and help us improve the sanitation. He talked about the town council practice. We all know about it, but what resource are we giving the assemblies to be able to deliver in improving the sanitation situation? People are dropping rubbish and garbages all around our country. How have we provided the needed waste bins across very, very key areas in our cities or in our towns to be able to minimize these issues of dirt and insanitary conditions? Mr. Speaker, I would like to make this recommendation, and it is in tandem with what they said. One, government should prioritize the issues of sanitation. Prioritization means they should make available adequate resources for the ministry to be able to manage and improve on our sanitation. We talk about making Ghana one of the cleanest countries in Africa. But what are we seeing? Continuous deterioration in our sanitation condition. Read your manifesto. So, Mr. Speaker, I would want to join on all fours with our colleagues that we improve on the sanitation condition in this country. Government should release funding to support the ministry so that at the end of the day, we can all see a better and a clean country. With these few words, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for the opportunity.
Speaker, I thank you sincerely for giving me this opportunity. Speaker, listening to the chair of the committee, there were a few things I picked. And one is a matter I'd had the opportunity of raising here. Speaker, it has to do largely with mindsets. The way and manner we believe that we can litter. There is no caution whatsoever when it has to do with littering. People see drains and they actually dump refuse into drains. And Speaker, people actually do so when it's just about to rain or the rain is about to fall. And Speaker, we watch them and the kind of black polythene bags and the content of those polythene bags. Speaker, if we do not take steps, as we speak today, there is some sort of surge in COVID again. And why? It's because of the way and manner we deal with issues of the environment. Speaker, the chair raised a very salient point on staff numbers. The number of people we have, we call them the MEHO or DEHO. Municipal Health Officer or Environmental and Health Officer or District Environmental and Health Officer. Speaker, the numbers we have in the respective district assemblies, as in people who are operating as DEHOs and MEHOs, Speaker, their numbers are a matter we would have to deal with. Seriously understaffed. When you go to Accra Metropolitan Assembly, you would not have more than 2 MEHOs. Metropolitan Health, Environment and Health Officers, you have. And when they have some sub-districts, then it means that those sub-districts are being run by people who are not the right staff. And Speaker, this is what happens when the mindset is not the right one. Because for someone, he or she choose gum. There have been instances even in this chamber. You would end up trampling upon chewing gums. And you're asking, even if we are doing so around this area, what do you expect my people, wherever they find themselves, to be doing? So we need some sort of revolutionary education on health and the environment. We should know that dumping at the wrong places. Speaker, when you come to my constituency, there is a whole place that is now being covered by garbage. When he it was a Ramsar site. The president advised and directed that that place should be taken care of. No action has been done. No action has been taken whatsoever. Speaker, when you also come to the non-payment of these workers, especially those who are in the uniforms of Zoom Lion, I reiterated here that they have not been paid close to 9 months. Speaker, how do you expect them to go to work? And their pay. We used to say that their pay is like Tewu pay. This one is less than Tewu pay. Very small amount of, and some of them are our grandmothers. They are very old, but they are being kept still in this function. Let's recruit the right caliber of people, stronger men and women. Those who are at the age of retiring, let's find a better package for them. Let them exit in a very proper manner and pay them properly. Speaker, with all of this, we should also open up for the issue on sanitation to be catered by a larger group of people, not one company. Speaker, if it is one company, just go. Now, even within the airport surroundings, garbages are not being lifted by the sanitation service providers. And it is because there is no competition. There is the belief that one person is able to do it. Meanwhile, that one single company is unable to perform. Speaker, if we are able to take this up seriously, these days, people prefer traveling to Ebri because it has a better environment. Some of us have not been able to purchase lands there. But Speaker, if that is going to be the situation, we'll all round up to Ebri, and that place will also be congested. And the mindset will start there again. People will start littering, they will start pulling down, felling trees, and all manner of activities, which will then end up affecting our environment. Speaker, today you are healthy. I'm healthy by God's grace. And so, it should be a proper position for this house, this guest house, to consider, just like the majority leader once said, charity begins at home. To begin from our homes, to lead lives that are environmentally friendly so that we can call ourselves legislators, people who think about the environment. Speaker, with all of this said, I want to thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Deputy Minority Whip. Yes, Honorable Asandari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The name is Honorable Sandari.
Thank you, right?
Not Asandari.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I just also want to add my voice in support of the report taken by the chairman of the Sanitation Committee. Mr. Speaker, there's a direct relationship between the environment and the health of the people. Mr. Speaker, no matter how nice a man dresses, if his or her environment is dirty or not clean, that man is not clean. And Mr. Speaker, environmental health is something that we should take seriously because, like I stated, it determines our health as a people of this country. So measures should be taken to ensure that our environment is clean. Mr. Speaker, one thing I want to add is that our monthly or quarterly sanitation days, yes, it's a good measure, but we should go beyond that, and for me to have daily sanitation days where everybody, your environment, every household must take steps to clean your environment every day and not wait for monthly or quarterly sanitation days. And I want to add my voice to the chairman that we should look at how we motivate, we pay our environmental health officers so that they can do good job and ensure that our environment is clean. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, I'm grateful for indulging me. Let me remind the House, if we all do remember, Speaker, when we were considering the estimates for the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy, Sanitation, was
religious affairs. There was thunder all over. Thunder all over. And the majority leader had a cause to raise the matter. I think this matters if we are putting it in proper context. First of all, let me ab initio commend the chair and the leadership of the Committee on Sanitation and Water Resources.
Very crucial to the efforts to keep our country and the environment clean. In the same Rwanda, the system captures
5
everybody.
regions, Chairman, 5 regions, and I'm also aware you visited other countries to look at best practices. Then we can compare and contrast. So these are matters we cannot belabor. And I intend to limit myself to specific portions of the report. Separation of waste. There's nowhere in the world that waste is not separated. It is only in Africa or in Ghana that it's difficult to separate waste. That we can separate the biodegradable waste from the non-biodegradable waste. We are not doing that. In other jurisdictions, there are designated containers for biodegradable waste. And that is the start of waste processing. Speaker, if we can't process our waste, which is a resource, if we can't process our waste, then we are wasting the waste, so to speak, because this waste can be converted to other forms. For instance, waste into energy, electricity generation, all over the world is done. And we generate so much. Now, our greatest challenge is how to even decommission landfill sites. Landfill sites all over the country has become a death trap. And we cannot pretend all is well. It's a problem. If you come to Insumia, a suburb of Insawama Dredri, latchet is being produced, which is seeping into the water table of the environment. And that is poison, practically poison to flora and fauna. So, Speaker, we have to, as the Honorable Jerry said, we also have to change our ways. Way of life has to be changed. But the thrust of the matter is that we cannot treat this as, it must for the core activities of the ministry. Waste is huge. And he concluded, I was very unimpressed when the chairman said that Ato is forcing. Where is he forcing?
When he's unable to pay.
Service providers. Then listen to me first. Well, he's trying, but it's not good enough. That's fine. Speaker, solid and liquid waste service providers. Colleagues, just listen to me. Solid and liquid waste service providers, Speaker, for close to 1 year have not been paid. Where is Ato forcing? Tell me. Ato is not paying. Ato is not paying. He's not paying. This, Speaker, these waste providers, for instance, the liquid waste generated by Parliament, I am aware the service providers for close to 1 year have not been paid. And we risk epidemic. I want to pray. Speaker, I will be very glad, and Speaker, I know you are not the type who, you are not a fan of consequential directives, but Speaker, I will pray your office. This matter cannot be left hanging. Sanitation portends on health, and health portends on productivity. So I will be glad if there could be some directives for an engagement with the finance minister to make sure that all the service providers, the sanitation service providers, are paid. Ato is not paying. Ato Ntia. To it, Ato is not paying. Ato Ntia. And the service providers are crying. So I see my good friend wants to speak. If it's the case that he wants to support, I will yield to him. He should support me so that we'll get the finance minister to
When the finance minister chair, the service
I
providers.
believe strongly he's up because you've converted the house into a tree speaking platform. That is why he's up. So if you can refrain from speaking tree and stick to the official language, he won't take point
Speaker,
of order.
I'm guided accordingly.
Yeah, so let me hear Honorable Minister for Roads and Highways.
Mr. Speaker, my good friend, the Minority Chief Whip, is giving the impression that the current finance minister is not paying, and he said it in tree. Mr. Speaker, the fact is that this finance minister, within the past few months, has paid more than any finance minister within 1 year. Mr. Speaker, today, Mr. Speaker, he is up to date with common fund to the extent that Adaklu Assembly has got money sitting in our accounts to pay for services they are procuring. Mr. Speaker, NHIS is fully up to date. Get Fund is fully up to date. Mr. Speaker, the truth is that sanitation is a very important issue. But Mr. Speaker, let me give you an example. When I became an MP in 2013, a service provider was taking money at source from the Adaklu District Assembly Common Fund for providing certain services. I wrote to that service provider and said that you've taken money belonging to Adaklu Assembly and you did not provide the services. That service provider agreed, and today, Mr. Speaker, if you go to Adaklu and you see a water tanker there, it's a compensation for taking money from Adaklu Assembly and not providing the service. All we are saying is that, yes, sanitation, and I agree with my colleague Jerry when he says that, why do we actually not tackle the issue at source? I drink sachet water and then open my vehicle window and then throw it onto the street because there's somebody who is supposed to clean it and then how do you call it, and be paid for it. What about us saying that we should be a cleaner country? Doesn't mean that we should pay for the cleaning. Rather, we should say that we will be more cleaner in our attitude towards the environment, that we don't litter things around. But it's always about pay sanitation workers. What about actually stop littering so that we can reduce that? So, Mr. Speaker, I agree. But all those who are providing services in sanitation across the country must also be accountable. There's no free money in this country. That every time people actually are insisting that it is their right to take public money and pretend that they are cleaning places. Mr. Speaker, as of the time, one of them was supposed to be cleaning Adaklu. My district capital didn't even have 1 inch of tarred road or anything. When you go to the district capital, there's no litter. Yet, they were still cleaning when there was no litter to clean. When there was, in fact, the place was clean, they were still doing so much fumigation. When we never saw anybody doing any fumigation anywhere. Mr. Speaker, reset means that it's an accountable time. There's no free money for certain service providers to be taken for doing nothing. If Adaklu Assembly want to engage anybody to do cleaning there, let them engage them at the district assembly level. There's no central source of cash for anybody to take. Mr. Speaker, I thank the maker of the statement, but I'm a bit worried that the statement did not focus enough. The report did not focus enough on cleaning our services. And Mr. Speaker, let me conclude by saying that ATO is actually paying and has paid within the last 11 months more than any finance minister in the history of our country. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this short.
Yes, Honorable
Speaker,
Honorable Deputy Whip.
Speaker, let me try and conclude. The road minister mentioned other payments that are ongoing. I'm not disputing that. Unfortunately, that is not a subject matter for discussion. The Common Fund, the NHI, we are aware payments, some good payments have been done. That's not in dispute. What is in dispute is the service providers whose services have been rendered and the monies have not been paid. That is the crux of the matter. So I want to pray you Speaker, I'm sure this matter has come to your notification. This discussion cannot be left hanging. And this is the people's representative. We should, because some directives should be sent to the minister and these service providers. Chairman, I'm surprised you didn't speak to these payments that are hanging. Service providers payment that are hanging close to a year. We should engage and make sure that if all of the outstanding payment cannot even be dealt with, some good advances should be made to them. And I think that will go a long way to up their hand in the delivery of their service. So we can't leave this matter to hang. But let me conclude by thanking the committee for bringing this matter to the House floor. And we must proceed to see to its logical conclusion. It cannot be an adoption of the report and it ends there. That cannot be too good for us. I thank you, Speaker.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me put on record the fact that this committee embarked on a tour of sanitation facilities across the country following the recommendation of leadership that committees should be out there in the field engaging constituents, engaging agencies and institutions that they ought to be superintending over so that they can have a clear appreciation of the issues on the ground and report back to the House so we can take the reports, debate them, and if there are commendable recommendations that we can make to the executive arm of government, we can make those recommendations and the people will begin to see that parliamentarians are on top of the issues, parliamentarians are paying attention to the issues on the ground, and parliamentarians are contributing their voices to defining solutions to the problems in our communities. So I want to commend the chairman of the committee for taking his committee across the country and bringing us this very, very useful report. I urge other chairpersons of the various committees to do same during the recess. I know during recess you're supposed to be in your constituencies with your families and etc. and taking time off to rest, but also take time to tour the country and find out what the situation is so that when you resume, we can take these reports and try and deal with them. Mr. Speaker, on the substance of the report, let me indicate that what I see is quite a scary situation. I see, for instance, in paragraph 7.1, that the committee in the Greater Accra region, in the Accra Metropolitan Assembly,